Good morning. This will be my first video in a while. I was away for a week for work, got pretty busy. I haven't had as much chance to run lately. Did a couple Peloton rides the last few days, and trying out a shoe today that I've worn one time so far. And this is my first time wearing a shoe by this brand. I'm wearing the Mizuno Neo Zen. So Mizuno is a brand that I've never used before. I do have a friend, Rich, who swears by them and wears a lot of their shoes. Last year when they came out with the Neo Vista, that one was interesting looking to me. I thought about getting it, but I never did. And when I was looking at the Neo Zen, some of the reviews of this are that the foam is very soft, so that the shoe could be unstable. But wow, is this a comfortable shoe. In the first run that I did in these, what I really liked from this foam is it feels softer than the foam in the Rebel 5, but it also feels much more lively. Like that foam feels soft, but it doesn't have energy return. This foam feels soft and airy and very responsive, a lot of bounce from it. So today I'm actually going to do a tempo run in these. So I'm going to do a warm up, then try and run a little bit faster pace and a cool down. So I know my first run was basically an easy run, and these felt amazing to me. As like a daily trainer, easy miles, this shoe is so comfortable. I love the knit upper. It really just kind of hugs your foot in a pleasant way. And the amount of softness and bounce from this foam, especially the amount of stack you get with the energy return, is just a really pleasant combination when you're running easy miles. So let's see how this shoe does today, turning it up a bit. Like the Neo Vista, these ones feature Mizuno's NZ Next foam, which I believe is a nitrogen infused TPE foam, which is the type of stuff that I prefer. I prefer the TPE and the aliphatic TPU, we have some fun names for this stuff, over PIBA. To me right now, I'm just finding more energy return, more resiliency from those former foams than foams that are based in PIBA. Although it's like choosing, do you want the steak or do you want the filet mignon? Although that is a steak. A better example would be the steak or the lobster. We're choosing good foams regardless, but I prefer this type of foam. And yeah, the squish of this is great. Like, it feels actually squishier than the Rebel, but it feels lighter and it feels like it has more energy return. So if I was looking for a soft shoe, this is a soft shoe that actually gives something back to me, whereas that one does not. Now, as a larger runner too, generally I don't like when foams are very soft, but this just has so much bounce to it that it kind of makes up for the softness with the level of energy return. You know, I never cared what the weather was like outside at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. until I became a runner. And man, do I hate the summer. I'm drenched in sweat right now. I'm a little more than halfway through my workout. I think it's about 80 degrees with 90% humidity at like 7 a.m. What am I supposed to do here? Come on. I have to say though, this shoe, freaking excellent. Like, really amazing. And this midsole is just magic. Like, this has this incredible balance of softness and bounciness while still remaining light and airy. It doesn't feel as dense as Light Strike Pro, but it has way more airiness to it than fuel cell foam from New Balance, and a lot more energy return. So this is really hitting a sweet spot as far as foam goes. Also, one big difference between this and the Neo Vista, this one doesn't have Mizuno's wave plate in it. So it's an unplated shoe. It's a completely neutral shoe. So you're just running on that luscious midsole. And it is so smooth. The transitions are buttery smooth. No matter where you land in this shoe, you're just landing on that comfortable, cushy foam, and it bounces you right back. This may be a rival for the Evo SL actually at this price point. This is the first shoe that's giving me those vibes. It has a better fitting upper than the Evo SL. The Evo SL has too much room in the forefoot to me. This one has a knit upper, so that can be a pro or con. If it fits your foot right, it's like a glove, but for certain people, knit uppers don't give you as good a lockdown. They do have kind of a strategically placed pad right where you tie the laces as well, so that's alleviating the lace bite. By the Achilles, it comes up pretty high, the Achilles flare, and they have a loop there to help you get your foot in, which is helpful with a knit upper. I can see that might cause irritation for some people. Really depends on how it lands on your foot. I'm wearing some taller socks today, so that'll completely alleviate that problem. As long as you're wearing socks that are higher than the ankle collar, that's not going to rub on you, although it is kind of facing away. But turning up the pace in these really feels excellent. Like most soft shoes, when you're walking, they feel a little bit unstable. But once you do what the shoe is intended to do and start running, then the shoe feels much more stable, much more engaging. And this foam is just giving you back that nice energy return. Now, the limit to this, I would say this is an amazing daily shoe, amazing easy run shoe or recovery shoe. I was running some tempo paces there, and it's capable of doing that. It's still giving me energy return up to tempo paces, but I think if I wanted to get down into like the low 6-minute mile pace or faster, that's where this shoe is going to be somewhat limited because of how soft that foam is. So the soft bouncy foam helps you to a point, but when you're really pushing for it all out, having a little bit more firmness in the foam or a plate helps you to kind of maximize that speed. So I think to me this really sits nicely in a long run up to tempo run category, so covering a really wide range. I just wouldn't want to use this for like all out sprints, track work, that kind of thing. But as far as like a daily shoe goes, this is now one of my favorites. This is going to move right to the top of the rotation. I think I'm going to enjoy taking these out for every type of run. My favorite max cushion shoe right now is the Puma Mag Max. This has similar levels of bounce to that. I feel like this is actually a little bit bouncier. It's also a little bit softer, so that shoe is a little bit more stable, but it's held back by its massive size. It has a huge stack, a really wide forefoot and heel, so it's a very stable shoe, a bouncy shoe, but it's heavier and wider, whereas this one feels much more natural. This is kind of reminding me more of like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 1, like that kind of formula, but I like this foam much better than the Piba foam they were using there. That one's, I believe, is a lighter shoe. It is a little bit firmer foam as well, so it's better for going fast than this one, but just for like the joy of running, comfort in the shoe, this is top notch to me. So as I mentioned, this is my first time running in a Mizuno running shoe, and man, am I impressed. These may be a candidate for me for shoe of the year. We're about halfway through the year, so that's a feather in their cap. I know I'm a little bit late to this one. As I've said many times on this channel, I buy all my own shoes, so I kind of do a lot of research before I buy something and want to know if I think I'm going to like it before I spend my money on it. So for this one, I was initially a little concerned because the reports were how soft this foam was. This does have a very squishy foam, but it also has some torsional rigidity to it. It's not completely loose, and really good snapback from this. It has an explosive bounce to it that I really enjoy. Also, not everybody gets on with a knit upper with this booty type construction. However, I find the volume of this shoe to be absolutely perfect for me. I have just enough room in the shoe. My toe ends about here, so I have about a full thumbnail's length between my toe and the front of the shoe, but this is kind of where the toe bumper starts, so my toe being right there is kind of perfect. Some people might want to go a half size down if you had like a really narrow foot. I think that's the one thing with the booty style upper is some people it's going to fit your foot absolutely perfect. Some people it might feel too tight or not tight enough. However, for me, I would say I have kind of a normal volume foot. Adidas and Puma shoes run pretty narrow and they fit me well. So I don't have a completely narrow foot, but I don't have a wide foot either. And I find the volume in this shoe to be absolutely perfect for me in this midfoot. The lockdown that it's giving me from the booty upper, I really don't have to mess with this first set of laces at all. It's fitting my foot really well and giving me a good lockdown. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a little pad right here, which is where you tie the laces down at the top so you get relief from the lace pressure. That's strategically placed. I like that addition to the upper. It also has the type of heel that I really like, where there's nothing to it, where it can flop right down. That's the kind of heel that you'll often find in a racing shoe, where they don't put like a plastic piece in there. But the way that my heel sits, it kind of sticks out a little bit behind my Achilles. So having that softer upper that's very flexible means this fits my heel really well. And you do have that loop here to get your foot in there to help you get the shoe on. This comes up pretty high in the Achilles. It does flare back, so I don't think it'll cause too much irritation. But for me, when I'm wearing these shoes, I'm just wearing a little bit longer sock to make sure that that's not going to affect me at all. I showed the picture before of this shoe versus the Neo Vista, and you can see in the Neo Vista, this whole part is the wave plate. There's like a gray plate running through the middle there to kind of firm that up. So that one's looked at more as like a super trainer. That one's $180. This one's $30 less at $150, but it's lighter weight and it lacks the plate. So this really has more of a natural ride. It has buttery smooth transitions, and I think no matter where you land on this shoe, it has that same really nice feeling foam everywhere. So it just lands and adjusts to where you land and brings you back to the midfoot and springs forward. Really amazing ride from this shoe. I haven't had a chance to run in wet conditions with this shoe yet, but this does have kind of a soft outsole rubber here. So I think this might not be a super durable outsole. I'm not sure how well it's going to grip, but having that kind of central channel there, the way this foam decompresses, the springiness of it, and this upper fitting me like a glove, it's interesting because this really is more of like a daily trainer based shoe, but it lacks some of the daily trainer creature comforts. It's more of a tempo shoe in its construction where it's kind of more minimal in the upper, but I actually prefer that. I feel like this is one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. It just slips, you slip your foot right in there. The upper fits perfectly. I forget I'm even wearing it. And the midsole is amazing. It has that nice bounce and energy return, super comfortable. It really feels like a super foam. So for $150, this thing is freaking great. Now it's the same price as the Evo SL up there, which if you've been watching my channel, you know I really like that shoe. There's two big differences between them. I prefer the upper of this one much more than the Evo SL, but as far as the midsole goes, that has the traditional Light Strike Pro, which is a firmer compound. So I feel like that helps me to run a little bit faster. It has less energy return, but a little bit more firmness, more denseness to the foam. So if I'm really picking up the pace, I feel like advantage Evo SL. But as far as a daily trainer goes, this one's more comfortable. The upper fits me better, and I really like that bounce and energy return that I'm getting from this foam. Since I've been loving Puma shoes so much recently, I actually did pick up the DV8 Nitro 3 over there. I have a couple of runs in those. I haven't done a video on them yet, so I'll have that coming soon. I really love the DV8 Nitro 2 down there. I also rearranged my shoes on the rack here. I kind of used to have them by purpose. Now I have them by brand. So you'll see on the left side there, or whatever side you're looking at this on, I have a lot of Adidas shoes right there. Adidas is doing very well in my rotation right now. Puma is also doing really well right now, and a lot of my favorite shoes are from Asics as well. So those are kind of like my top 3 brands at the moment. I got a couple Nikes behind me there. Hoka has kind of been demoted to me. New Balance and Brooks are down at the bottom. Also, we have some Saucony shoes in there that I like, but I'm just not using them as much. Right now, I'm really enjoying the shoes from Asics, Adidas, and Puma. Those are like kind of my top 3 brands at the moment. Although this one, hey, Mizuno's on the map. I'm actually liking this shoe so much that I was looking on Mizuno's website today, and I saw that they have a different colorway of these that's called like the Oni Haye. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right because I don't speak Japanese, but it means demon fast, or fast like a demon, implying extreme speed and intensity. It's like 2 different color shoes with like demon logos on it. I'm like, this thing's pretty cool. It kind of looks like a Dodge Demon. So we'll see if I pull the trigger and get another pair of these. Actually, it looks like they have that in a few different shoes as well. They have that in the Wave Rebellion Flash 2, the Wave Rebellion Pro 3, and the Neo Vista. So maybe I check out the last year's Neo Vista in this cool looking colorway. Let me know in the comments what you think. So in summary, for $150, this has put more of a smile on my face than any shoe in recent history. So I'm very impressed with Mizuno and with this shoe as the first one that I've been trying from them. So I'm definitely going to try some other Mizuno shoes in the near future. Let me know in the comments if you've run in any of those other shoes that I mentioned, anyone you think I should give a shot. But what I definitely need to do now is kind of match this up with some of those other shoes that fall into this category. So I'll probably do a run soon with the Evo SL, maybe bring the Nova Blast 5 back in there, the DV8 2, or 3 for that matter, and see how these all stack up. But I think this one definitely has the ability to be a tempo shoe as well as a daily shoe. So it has more versatility than just a straight up daily trainer. So very impressed with this shoe. And I think for $150, as long as this upper fits you correctly, this is an absolute great shoe from Mizuno. So please remember to like and subscribe, leave a message in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.